Boom! Pleasant afternoon, everyone! So, kumusta? I hope you have a great time this afternoon, this Saturday afternoon once again. And once again, we are here back again to our second episode of Prop Talk. We would like to welcome you all. For those who are first-timers sa episode namin, I would like to invite you to hit like, share, and comment. So, by the way, my name is Jazz Mendoz. This is your Propertier Jazz. And with me is Prop Arthur.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you guys? Welcome to the second edition ng show. Yeah, we have an exciting topic this afternoon, and I hope you will also learn like you did last time. So it's not a bit for long, but we encourage you to stick around and ask the questions. Maybe you can also share some insights. Which is basically why we're doing this. No, this is all for the stakeholders ng real estate. So. Yeah.
Yes.
So what's up for today, Jazz?
Ang topic natin, there's no such thing as parang right and wrong, but you get to hear a different perspective, especially from those. This is really coming from those who are really in the real estate industry, helping a lot of clients. We have already, since we start, countless clients already. We have been helping them in buying a property. So yung topic natin this afternoon is ito. Kita ko muna. So, things to consider before buying a property.
Yan.
Okay.
Nice.
Oo, parang
Nice.
Yung topic natin is somehow parang it will really solve a lot of especially pag first time buyer, no? Common scenario pag first time buyer. Parang especially kapag yung based on our experience, 'di ba? If we help a first time buyer, parang as we go bring them with the process, parang may tendency pa na back and forth yung yung thinking, 'di ba? Yun, because really we understand buying a property is according as sa studies that in the entire lifetime sa isang tao, the two most important things that they purchase in their entire lifetime, number one is a house and second is a car, diba? And it involves a lot of their life savings. So we really understand, speaking from an agent, speaking from a broker, we really understand the feeling of our clients. yung emotions in buying a property. 'Di ba? So,
Yeah, I
uh,
think ano yeah, like what you said, it's a major decision.
mhm,
And I think ngayon, people want to understand value even more. So they wanted to have the things that they put their money into, yung sinasabi na sulit.
mhm.
And there's this sabi nga nila yung taga Davao gusto ng mura pero masarap. Alam mo yun sa
Gusto ng
food,
mura.
no?
Oo.
Oo, mura pero
Sulit.
masarap. Oo, sulit.
Or
So,
sulit.
pagka
Parang buffet. Oo, so
so,
different types of client, different kinds of personalities involved. Uh, pero I think on what we will be discussing to you this afternoon, it's somehow a little controversial because you will find it a different notion from based on common na mababasa mo sa mga vlogs or blog post, and even some of the brokers that are sharing. Usually, when we were way back when we were still going through the process of taking our license, it was already this kind of notion pag real estate, ganito, ganito dapat. But
mm,
as we go with the practice, no, parang it has come some changes. There's really ways of weighing things, di ba? So,
mm.
and siya. So,
Pero
and
Jazz, are you gonna,
yes.
are you going to announce yung winner? Kailan mo ma-announce
Oo,
yun?
thank you for
Ah,
reminding that one, no?
excited
So,
ako dun na.
yes, we have already selected the winner. I hope they're watching. She's watching right now. So, and by the way, those first time dito sa ano namin, sa Prop Talk, we actually you need to stick around at until the last bit on ng episode namin because we will be asking a question of the day. Okay?
Mhm.
A question of the day, and then the winner of the question of the day will get 100 pesos load to be announced on the next episode. So we already had our first episode last week, and we had the question of the day last time. The question was, if you have 5 million pesos, how will you use it in your real estate investing? So, okay. So for last week's winner, so share ko muna yung screen ko para ma-appreciate.
Tadam.
Wait lang.
Do we share the answer? Ano ba?
Yes, we share the answer.
Okay, nice.
I have a screenshot sa answer niya. And before that, I just need to ready my sound effects. Kasi para ano natin siya. So clap muna natin. Yehey! Ayan na. Ayan na.
Nice.
Meron na tayong pa sound effects. O, di ba? We're now parang we're adjusting to the new normal, to this, getting used to this kind of setup of live talk. Okay, so our winner for last week is, congratulations to Rika.
Nice.
Rika
Ang sagot.
Revamonte. Sabi niya, I would like to I will read the answer of Rika. Sabi niya, if I have 5 million cash today, it would be great to buy a property and sell it eventually. So, sabi ito, continue niya, this will be the start of my buy and sell business in real estate. Wow! Grabe, entrepreneurial, no? Buy and sell yung gusto. Wow, that's
Yeah,
among the answers is one of the things that we really appreciate, no? Because, well, like what we've talked last episode, diba? Yung sinabi mo, bro, na real estate actually is it's like any form of investment that you have put in there, and some eventually in later time, as the investment had already grown, di ba? You'll have to sell it, di ba? So ganun talaga
yes.
yung real estate natin. So this one is one of the brilliant answers that we had, di ba? Parang negosyante, umiikot yung pera. So congratulations to Miss Rica Revamonte and
Congratulations.
oo, clap natin, clap. Sana yung sound effects ko. Ano yan, hindi ko pa practice. Dapat praktisado na ako nito. Yay, clap hands. Yan ba narinig? Ayan, congratulations. So one of our teammates will contact you and we'll get in touch with you and PPM ka niya for your number and you'll get your load, 100 pesos worth of load. So congratulations once again. So for those who are first timers with our episode, so stick around, listen to the end of this live stream, and we'll have the question for the day. Anyway, we are simultaneously broadcast sa property page, Facebook page, and also in our YouTube. So please hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share this with your friend. If you think the things that we are talking right now has value to people you know that are into the market right now, buying for properties and a little confused. So this will be a big help to them. Okay? So, paki-like naman din. And if you have questions, please put in the comment section below and we're gonna read your questions. Okay, so ano pa ba? So I guess that's it. Let's jump in right now sa
Okay.
topic natin.
Game.
Okay.
Oo.
So, again, review natin. What's our topic? Things to consider
Consider before.
before buying a property.
Yeah. Ano
So,
nga ba?
so let's just say ano na lang. Step 1, step 2 na lang natin to. So,
Sige.
yung ano ba yung common na sagot nito ng mga tao? If you're looking to buying a property, number 1 na sagot nila is
Ako
always
alam ko. Alam ko.
ano.
Location,
sagot?
location.
Location.
Which is really true, which makes sense, no? But yeah, and naturally you would always look for location, and it has been a proven wisdom na rin na one of the primary, but I would underscore yung one of the primary consideration is location of the property. Saan ba talaga? Saan nakalagay? Does it match your objective? So, yun, may na-mention na nga ako objective ko ng purpose. But yeah, location is one of the primary considerations.
But I think
So,
for
but,
us,
alam ko may but yan. Ano pa ba?
may but talaga. Oo. But not all the time. Because I think maybe it's the way of how we handle things with our clients. Because yeah, we can give you the best location that we can offer you. But again, ang actually it's connected with our last topic natin last week. The very first talaga, di ba? If you ask us ni Arthur, what's the very first that we really ask with the client as we help them purchase the property, or the things that they have to consider? Number 1 is always the purpose. Okay? Tama ba, bro?
Yes.
Always ba dapat
Objective.
purpose?
Yung objective, what's your intention? So actually, anong
yes.
intention mo? Why are you buying the property? That answers. In fact, ito yung I think pinakauna mong dapat sagutin. Ano bang purpose mo? Why? Yan yung why. Why are you buying?
Yes.
Why are you thinking about buying a property? So normally, ano ba? Normally you would there can be a variety of reasons that you're buying a property. Is it for your end use? Are you you're planning to build your own house in a certain lot, or are you planning to buy a bahay lang, no? Bahay, or you're planning to para kay Rika, gusto niya bumili ng property that she can flip over the next few years. So it's basically appreciation of her capital, which is the 5 million. Others would intention is yeah, just to leverage or diversify their investments, like meron siyang nakalagay na liquid in placements sa banks or any investment institution, but he or she would also like to diversify into properties. And when it comes to properties, ano bang klaseng investments ang tinitingnan niya? Or is he planning to build a leasing business? So it means bibili siya ng commercial, or is the person trying to bet on up and coming areas kung saan mura pa, and then meron siyang speculations na magmamahal because the development is sprawling towards that direction. So dami-daming pwedeng purpose. And if kahit nga bahay, kahit nga dwelling, kahit nga end use na gagamitin niyo as dwelling mo or ng family mo, it can be different eh. Pwedeng empty lot, gusto mo ikaw mag-build para sariling design mo, or you wanted it na plug and play na. Binili mo yung bahay, ready na, pa- lagyan mo na lang ng gamit, yun na. Meron din nga iba, may bahay na, may furnishings pa, yun ang gusto.
Opo.
So, it can be different there are a lot of variations for different purpose. No? Sa iba-ibang klaseng purpose, ang daming pwedeng puntahan, ang daming pwedeng options. Now, and that this is where the rest of the considerations come in. So, um, you have to open the discussion via this door. The first question,
Mm.
why? Why are you buying? Kasi from there, daming yung pwedeng ma-discuss with with your chartered broker, with your chartered agent. So you can um, you, uh, you can make good use of the broker you're working with if you
Mm.
know it's very clear, if it's the purpose is very very clear with
Very
you. So yun yung nakikita ko, actually tama yan. So more than knowing the location, before you can answer the location, you have to know the purpose.
what's the purpose.
Mm.
So different property types, different kinds, different purposes din siya. Usually the
Mm.
common yan is it's either use to these two things, ano, parang either it's end use or investment. So investment medyo wide pa yan. Kaya different types, may yung some
Yeah.
leasing or portfolio building up your portfolio, credit ano yan? Credit just getting a good credit without just in future if you're planning to have it loan or you have planning to buy from a financial institution. So
Mm.
different talaga. So anyway, and speaking
Actually,
from a stand,
if at
go go
all,
go.
yung location kasi papasok sa lahat ng
Who's the
purposes eh. Like for
uh,
example, gusto mo na residence eh, then you
uh,
would consider the location and other considerations, mga financing and all your money. So, but you have to answer this question first. Ano ba yung purpose mo? Mm-mm.
and ano din usually uh, way, be, way back before, seldom you see brokers or agents asking you for the purpose of your purchase. Because mostly, di ba, parang they're just after closing the deal, having that sale, not making it thorough nga. Kasi, I have
Actually,
one
actually
story
when I
to
was
tell.
ano, actually when I was
Go, go.
starting, I'm guilty of the same thing. No,
Yes, me
na
too.
siyempre may excite ka eh. When pagka nag-post ka ng property, like we used to do some 10 years ago. When I started, when I post a property, siyempre may mag-i-inquire, may mag-text, may mag-PPM. So, your tendency is to always, sunggaban mo agad, try to close the deal as much as possible, which is nothing wrong with that. But what I'm trying to say is that as you progress with the practice, the a good or a better improvement to do is to really dive into the purpose of
Yes.
the one who's interested in buying what you posted, because it enables you as a professional broker, as a professional propertier, to to make sure that the property that he or she is interested in serves to the purpose niya, it addresses the needs. So it solves the
Yes.
solution, solves the problems or issues or concerns or gusto niyang mangyari. Kasi mahirap naman, may sale ka nga, but it does not help the buyer at all, or does not serve the purpose. So, pero
Purpose and
meron in most cases, meron in some cases meron namang buyers na they are very very, before they make the inquiry, they're very very clear already with what they intend to do. But in most times, na ano lang, na-excite lang doon sa discount, na-excite doon sa pictures, but you have to make sure, do some tests, ask some questions, and this
mm,
is a good question to start.
yes. And also, speaking from a standpoint ng mga brokers din and seller and agents, uh, by basically asking the purpose, no, it will really help you smoothen all the transaction. Because if you don't ask for the purpose of the client, tendency is you present a lot of properties and then all the properties doesn't hit the mark yung gusto pala ng client. So
Yeah.
you have to ask question. Ito, this is a true story.
In a way, it
uh,
narrows down the
yes, it narrows down
conversation.
the
Yeah.
selection, easier in transaction, even faster. And ito din kasi you know that buying a property is very an emotional purchase talaga. So yung feeling ng clients mo, you will also have to go with them with the process. So once you have that clarity at the start pa lang ng pag-hire sa'yo as their broker, you already have that clarity. Diba? Your client will really appreciate how efficient you are in providing what they need. Diba? You are able to catch what they really want. Sometimes kasi mga clients natin, they cannot express it verbally kung parang ganito, ganyan. And as brokers, diba, we're like matchmakers. Diba? Trying to look for the perfect fit for your client. Diba? Not just basically because you're after the commission or you're after this one is a big sale and I know this client is really capable of buying such amount, diba? So, more than that, diba? Like for us here in property, we really look at our clients having a long-term relationship na from the time kung pwede nga yung nag-asawa siya, sa atin bumili, nagkaanak siya, yung mga anak niya bumili pa sa atin. Diba? They've already asked us, diba? Already make us part of their family. Diba? You're looking at for the long-term perspective. Because for sure, our clients will always have that repeat purchase. If we have already made it, that uh, that relationship with them and how efficient we are when doing the business with them, diba? Eventually, they will still be asking our help, diba? And I just want to share this because this is really a true story. Not our client in property, but because this person, their family, I know them from a community that we're involved. Nagtaka ako, they purchased this property on a high-end subdivision that was worth around 25 million. Okay? Around 25 million. Nagtaka ako bigla. Bakit in less than a year? Binenta bigla. I was so shocked. And then I know the property. I'm very familiar with the property because I also went to see the property. Nataka ko, binenta nila, parang nahulog na lang siya na nasa 20 na lang. And just less than, That's why, I think, parang nagpalugi. Less than a year. I was thinking, why kaya? So, then I began to have my realization. Though I did not ask them personally, pero I think, because that kind of scenario, most likely, because sometimes properties can be so attractive or the product can be so attractive that clients, without thinking through, they just want to buy it. When then they start living in the property, they realize, di ba? Ay, parang hindi pala fit sa amin kasi we have elderly in our family and our house is full of stairs. Parang mga ganun na mga experience or I bought the property but my workplace is too far away from my workplace or it's not so accessible or so it's a good property but I cannot maintain the homeowners association dues, di ba? Mga ganun, di ba? So those are things yung mga hidden charges. I think we can add that up also, di ba? With our discussion because actually I have prepared 5 but I think we're gonna add up that because this is one of the common thing pala, no? Buti na lang na-brought up. When buying a property, sometimes clients get shocked. Just this morning, we had a transaction, and we were just shocked na bigla pa lang may changes with the payments and with mga additional bank fees and all of this. Parang sinasabi nila mga hidden charges daw. Hidden charges. So, I think we can also discuss that, no? Kasi, minsan dyan nagagalit yung mga client eh. Pag moment of turnover na ng unit, excited na si client, and then, bam! Ma'am, kailangan natin itong bayaran before moving. Diba? Sometimes, siguro sa sobrang excited ng agent, yun na na-discuss yun. So, again, number 1 is will always be the purpose. Anything you want to add? Bro?
I think we've covered it well and I think medyo concise naman yung discussion natin. But purpose is top of the list.
Top of the list.
Next,
ang second natin, pag ready na tayo, alam na natin yung purpose, dito na natin i-match yung budget. Okay?
Yeah. Yan. Tricky yan. Tricky.
This is one of the trickiest. Kasi, easy lang naman talaga kung you like the property. It's easy to like the property, but ma-match ba? Match ba with our what we have, or what with
Mm.
our savings, or how we want the property, how we want to purchase the property. Is going to be finance or
Ako,
mortgage?
you see it every day. Almost every day you see it kahit sa Facebook.
Mm.
I want, ano yan? House and lot sa downtown area for
Area.
2 million or 3 million. House and lot, ha? 3 million. Ano, maybe, maybe 15 years ago, pwede. Sige.
Pwede. It's like asking your broker to give you the moon.
Ah, siguro
Yeah.
lang ano
So,
lang, parang kailangan lang ng checking din sa budget
mm,
minsan. Kailangan na
yeah,
mag-guide.
though we understand that, especially pag first time na home buyer or property buyer, they would not understand na ganito na pala yung mga pricing. Hala ba itong mahal, mga ganyan, ganyan. You have to understand as agents again. I'm talking to agents right now. As agents, you have to understand, don't judge them kasi di nila alam. That's why they hire you, okay? That's why they hire you. You're responsible to educate them na ganito pala. Ganito pala ang pricing right now. So, in regards with the budget, so, tricky talaga to kasi you have to go through as 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 clients, okay? As
Mhm.
prospect buyers, as buyers, once you hire an agent, also be very honest with them to tell na ganito yung certain budget or
Mm.
ganito yung this is what I'm looking for. I want my property to be financed through bank or pag-ibig financing. This is how much I can pay every month. And this is my gross
Mm.
income, monthly gross income. 'Di ba? Ang
And
like
even
for
if ano eh, and even if the person declares to you, kasi more than being a broker, more than being
Mhm.
a seller of a property, yung as a propertier, what we do is what we need to do is to also become a financial advisor, so to speak, to the client. Like say for example, he tells na okay, I can put up this much money. I can put up, say, yung common, sabihin natin ha, I can put up 1.5 million as down payment, and ang kaya ko is kaya ko is around 30,000 monthly amortization, no? And even then, pag if they mention those figures, okay, you have 1.5. Ang first question ko agad niyan, how much is the savings left niyan sa sa inyo? And then,
1.5.
how much is 30,000? What's the portion of 30,000 sa total cash flow ng family niyo? Where does it come from? Kasi you don't want your client to be yung sagad. Like for example, ubos yung buong savings niya sa down payment, and then at the same time, yung amortization niya is more than 50% of the cash flow. Ayaw mo yun. And ayaw mo them yun for them because it does not protect them as a family, especially may family yung clients. And I think that's what we teach here sa property na huwag mo agad sunggaban. You have to make an advice, especially if it's the starting family, first time property buyers. You have to be very, very good at guiding them. Kasi, in fact, you can go as far as, okay, may insurance ka na ba? May emergency fund ka na ba? Pagka ganyan, okay. So, let's decide if it indeed yung 1.5 will be the good money to let go for as a down payment. If not, what are the options based on the purpose? But practically, when the client tells you his or her budget, you have to dig down deeper. There are a lot of questions to process para mag-guide ng maayos yung buyer. And you as a buyer need to be very, very honest as well with the broker or the agent you're working with para alam nila how to guide you. So, yun lang, you be very, very straight with them. Ito lang yung kaya, ito yung kaya, ito yung kaya. So, ito yung budget ko ngayon. And when the broker, be open then when the broker or the agent tells you, especially if you're working with the property, they will tell you na, ma'am, you have to limit it ganito. Huwag lumagpas ng 50% ng cash flow mo, yung amortization, para hindi ka sagad.
Yes.
Oh,
The
yeah.
safest, 'di ba? Parang the safest percentage of your total cash flow is nasa 20 to 30%,
Actually,
'di
30
ba?
ang ceiling talaga. Kung
Safe na talaga
maaaring huwag
yung
kayo lumagpas ng
wag ka nang
30, parang stretch niya yung 50 nga eh. Mhm.
baka yung 30% mo, baka tuyo na lang yung kinakain mo. Or ano ba,
Ideal lang 30,
tipid-tipid na.
ideal.
Uh,
Ang ideal lang 25, 20 ganun. Pero
Ganun.
stretch ang
So
50.
30%, yeah, it's already ceiling na yan siya. Unless na
And
lang,
I think, and if you
ano,
take away from your savings as much as possible, right now, especially ngayon, COVID made us realize that you need to have cash, no, in the
yes.
bank. Kasi if you contracted the disease, easily,
Mm,
900,000, 800, you see the bills, di ba, ilang days
mm,
lang, 700, 900, 1 million. You have to have those kinds of money in your bank. And then,
yes.
see to it, if you can work out, kaya mo ba talaga, if you let go of that 1.5 million, how much is money is left in the bank and cover for you if you're the breadwinner. Okay?
Mm.
So, yun.
Oh, dun mo din mababalance, no? Especially, um, kasi itong sa budget kasi na portion, sometimes, that's why the very first thing that, di ba, ina-ask namin is always the purpose. Because once you
Mhm.
have the budget, let's just say you're a client, you're looking for a 1.5, and then you say your budget is, you want to, your purpose, let's just say your budget is 1.5, and your purpose is building up a leasing portfolio, or lease properties, or a residential rental properties. Diba? So, there's a lot of way na kasi yan na how to approach it. Whether you can go multiple properties, especially if you have an available 1.5 million ready to be disposed. Kasi we can have it no kasi magiging strategic na din kasi kaya niyan after. So, let's just say at the 1.5, you can just spread it, just paying for the down payment. Because there are properties, let's just say that the 3 million, and the developer or the pre-selling property or the projects will only be asking, or even the banks will only be asking for the 20% down payment, and the rest will be financed. Kasi, di ba, their plan is to have a rental property. So, yun na din, nag-work na din yung cash flow. So, part of doing that. So, parang kasi, if you're working with a broker kasi, especially with the property, you also parang a financial advocate for you, working
Mm-mm.
for you. Kasi
Correct.
you can be very
Correct.
strategic with, ano, kasi it's very easy to, with the 1.5, just purchase one property. But what we're after, the next thing that we are looking at, we will suggest to you that, sir, kapag we can do this one, we can spread your 1.5 million to these types of properties. And then
Mm-hmm.
this is how you will manage it. Para even if you have finance it, you don't have to pay. You can have multiple properties already with your
Yeah.
1.5 million. You cannot put all your 1.5 million in just one property. Diba? There's
Or,
a
or,
lot of
or
ways of doing that. Okay, go.
yeah, or if it's the other way around, like for example, you buy a property, then we look at the property. Okay, paano ba? Kasi two ways eh. Like for example, if you found out na yung income ng property does not actually give you a good return on your investment. Like say for example, mas maigi pa ilagay mo siya sa isang financial instrument. For example, ha. So you better not buy the property. Or if you buy the property, what are the additional expenses you needed to do so you can charge higher lease rates so we can reach your target ROI. And mind you, for commercial purposes, investment purposes, and business purposes, when you set your budget for real estate, ROI is uh, goes hand in hand with budget. So may budget ka,
Mm,
dapat alam natin yung target ROI. And who sets the target ROI? You and the broker you're working with. Kasi hindi pa pwedeng hindi nyo pag-usapan kung anong target
mm,
ROI because yan yung point na happy ka sa binili mong property. So hindi pwedeng hindi mapag-usapan yung target ROI uh, when you talk about budget already. Okay.
mm. And this can also be critical. One point kasi we have also a client can be critical if, especially if you are working with other investors with you, 'di ba? You have pull some funds, 'di ba? May mga ganyan kasing clients din they have friends na magpo-pool silang funds just to purchase the property, and then may commitment ka with them. So may ganun ding aspect with in terms with the ROI. So actually
Yeah.
there's a formula for that. Uh, So we'll just keep it for us muna. And if you want to know, you message us. Okay.
Message
There's
us,
actually
message us. Kasi ang daming pwedeng pag-usapan
uh,
kasi talaga. Like for example, if you're watching right now and you have some plans in mind and gusto mong mag-guide, just message directly Propertier and we'll assist you. Kasi ang daming pag-usapan. So for example, some buyers are willing to, okay, for the next 5 years, sabihin na natin, or next 3 years, willing ako na ganito lang muna yung ROI.
mm,
Pero when we compute the net present value of the future
yes.
cash flow ng property na yon, happy naman tayo sa future cash
Yes.
flow niya based on, yeah, a portion is speculation, but a big portion should be the upcoming developments that we foresee for that kind of property. I'm talking about commercial properties, business or warehouse or
Oh.
anong basta business ang pinag-uusapan dito, hindi na siya dwelling or residences. So, let's say for example, you are willing to take a purchase, take this purchase kahit sabihin mo na on the immediate, hindi masyado maganda yung return. It's just 0.60 of the target ROI, but it shoots up the future cash flow, pag i-net present value mo siya, malaki, and willing yung investor. Like mga ganyan na computation,
Mm,
kailangan natin ng oras diyan. So,
mm,
before we dive
oh,
into that, that's another session altogether, yung
oh,
mga computations na ganyan, and we need a good sit down for that. So,
oh,
I advise you to message Propertier, tell us your purpose, tell us your any offhand ballpark budget mo,
mm,
what you're looking at, anong time frame of if you're an OFW looking to retire,
yeah.
ano bang magandang steps, so ganyan.
Mm,
So feel free, no, feel free.
oh,
No ano yun. Consultation natin, they are free, no? Walang bayad
yeah,
yan.
our consultation is free. So you can just message us, or I will also put in our email. Ay ko muna. Para makakita nyo. So this is our email. Ayan. So sales.property@gmail.com. So you can also email us. Uh, Sabihin mo yan, what your current situation right now, what you're planning to do, or if even also we can also help those who are also into looking to sell their properties. So you can also put in there. So okay, back to the topic. So doon sa budget. So basically what we're talking right now is those who are into the investment types of property. Now, kapag doon naman tayo sa mga end user natin in regards with the budget naman. In regards with the budget. So uh, doon na din natin pag-uusapan later. It will be directed with the budget in the location and the feature of the property. Kung
Yeah.
end user, 'di ba? Kung end user. So
Mhm.
easier to process but ang end user or those who are planning to buy a property to make it your dwelling, may dapat open-minded ka lang din. Okay. Dapat open-minded lang din kayo kasi we'll bring you into a reality with
Mhm.
your current with your current budget. Yun talaga. Sometimes it's easy to dream or to desire something and then we can be
No,
very
it happens.
extravagant.
Actually,
Oo.
sa totoo lang, it
Oo.
happens. Kahit ako,
Mm.
I fall into that, ano ba? Minsan napupunta rin ako diyan sa cloud nine na yan na akala ko ganito, ganito, ganito. And then when I run the numbers myself, okay, ito pala ang kaya. Ito pala sa ngayon. Or I should wait, build up ko muna siya up to this point bago ko mabili. Unless may mga arrangements na pwedeng gawin with the seller. So which yeah, you should be willing to negotiate.
Yes, and also it will bring back also to the purpose. Kasi uh, let's just say you're getting married and then you really want to live in a house na kayo na with your wife and you already have a kid. So
Hmm.
it's a different approach na din. It's a different
Yeah,
approach and we look into once that's a clear purpose, we look into to the budget na.
correct.
So,
Correct.
ganyan siya. In regards naman din with the budget kapag end user naman
Mhm.
talaga. In fact, this is the much easier for if speaking from a broker, 'di ba? This is the much easier part because you just have to check the box na lang kasi niyan eh. Specific with their
Hmm.
client. So which leads to our third point. Okay? Anything to add with the budget?
Yun lang, speaking to would-be buyers na gustong bumili, just be open, just be transparent, discuss well. No? If yung brokers mo may question, yung agent may question,
Oo.
they would be able to guide you well if you provide them with as many information as you can. And for the agents and brokers, this is part sa atong industry. Should be able to, be, like what Just said, be a financial advocate for the seller, not for the buyer, for the client, no, for the client, in a way, hand in hand, guide them. Don't just stop at, okay, reserve, how much ang reservation, so do na agad. So,
Oo.
discuss lang, and then others
Oo.
will make a comment na gayon pa nimo, or wag mo nang patagalin, no? So, um, ano na agad, i-close mo na. Yeah, there's value in
Mm.
that, but it's not bad that at the end of the day, our profession, our purpose is really to have the client, to advice, give professional guidance to the client. So, yun lang.
Yes.
In terms of budgets, that's why I'm discussing it here, because it's very, very critical kasi it affects a lot
Mm.
eh. If the
Yes.
purchase take away this X amount of money from the cash flow of the family, maraming pwedeng maapektuhan. It takes
Yes. Even
a
yung
pile from the
relationship, di ba?
entire budget, ng buong family. Education, medication, insurance, emergency fund. Madaming maapektuhan when the budget is touched.
Yes, totoo yan. And also, I think this is also a tip to yung mga buyers. Uh,
Hmm.
don't easily fall with the promotions, with the discounts.
Oo,
Oo.
wag agad, wag agad, wag
Huwag agad.
magpa ano
Don't get
agad.
too emotional with that.
Ask
Or
questions.
you ask question, and even if nakikita mo sa promotions nila is, uy, less than 10,000 lang yung monthly. Okay? There's ask questions kasi you might be shocked na baka yung monthly lang pala, baka kaya pala less than 10,000 kasi at the end part of the payment term, you have to pay in bulk or one-time payment or a balloon payment, di ba? Sometimes may mga ganon kasi. So, part of attracting the buyers. And sometimes, it's easy kasi parang, matagal pa yan. Matagal pa yan yung balloon payment. So, mga ganon, yung mga promotion,
Ang
yung like,
ang ano naman ang pinakababantayan mo, and by now I think if you're babad ka sa FB, ang pinaka-ano lang naman talaga, kasi if YouTube has clickbait, if the
oh,
postings has clickbait, yung mga for 2,000 pesos a month, condo for
mm,
8,000 pesos a month, or kaugalingong yuta for 3,000 pesos a month. Yung mga ganyan, if it's too good to be true, you need to ask questions. And
yes.
you need to ask the right questions and have meaningful discussions with the one posting the ano. I'm not saying that they're lying, I'm not saying that it's not true, I'm not saying that it's a scam, but you need to ask the question if lahat ba ng conditions doon is okay with you. Say for example, ang title mo can be named after you for yung after
Oh,
30 years or 20 years or 30 years, or walang guarantee kung kailan. I mean, you have to ask questions. You have to ask
yung
questions.
mga tinatawag natin na lote-lote. I
Oh,
think that's a good topic also to talk, no? Siguro,
magandang topics yan.
if
Magandang
you
topic.
want
Kasi
us to talk about that
nagrereklamo
kind
na, nagsisimula na.
of, oh, marami rin na. Ito guys,
Marami
if
na.
you want to have the topic on our mga next episodes namin, please put in the comment section.
Masaya
Jazz
yan.
Art, we want the topic. Okay,
Pwede
for
kaming
sure,
balik.
maybe there's some here who has already become a victim.
Pwedeng maraming magalit sa amin yan, but we'll discuss kung anong totoo.
Yes. Gawa ng totoo. And then maybe we can invite someone also who's in the legal na
Yung
we
legal,
can invite our lawyer.
legal. Maybe we can invite Attorney
Uh,
Jeff, no?
siguro, no? So, promote na lang din natin,
Oo,
BCPC Law
sige.
Firm. Uh,
BCPC Law Firm, our partner,
mm.
has been the longest time helping us. So maybe we can ask them also to guest, to be our
So, if
guest.
you're interested with that topic, please comment below. that you want to talk about the topic. And also, if you had other suggestions sa mga topic, please also put it in the comments. So for those who has just tuned in to us this afternoon, please don't forget to hit that like, comment, share this video.
Video.
So
And subscribe to our YouTube
to our
channel.
YouTube channel,
Maybe, if we reach, ilang subscriber na ba tayo? Like,
parang hindi pa tayo umabot ng 100.
okay. Kasi I would like to I would like to have a celebratory raffle pagka umabot tayo ng 1,000 subscribers as a milestone. So maybe we can help us. Please help us reach 1,000 subscribers. Share this
Tayo.
with your friends. Share the channel. We will be putting up several videos there. We'll produce videos of properties as well. So
Oo.
yeah.
Ano ba
Okay.
ipaparaffle natin?
Budget next. Anong pag-uusapan
Sige.
natin after the budget?
Pero before that, ano ba ipaparaffle natin? House and lot ba?
Lote-lote.
Sige. Which also connects to the next point. So ano ba yung next point natin? Now it's about the property feature.
Okay.
So, nagmamatch na din yan sa budget. Ito match with our budget. Ano?
Property feature. Actually, hindi nito masyado mahirap. Actually, ala ng iba, ito yung pinakamahirap. Actually, yung first two ang mahirap. Kasi yung first two, yun yung pinaka-critical. It will affect everything. Okay, property feature. Okay, what can you say, Jess?
Yung sa property feature naman, iba-iba to. Usap muna tayo with those who want to purchase it, to use it as a dwelling. Yung sa property feature, there's a lot of ways to address this one. One way, like for me, this is my personal experience. If I know the profile of the owner or the prospect buyer, okay, dun ko i-base yung feature na parang i-fit ko with them. Like for example, let's just say I know that my client, my prospect client is married. Okay, syempre one wife and has 2 kids. Sample ganyan. So meaning there are 4 in their family. So kapag sa feature na ng property, sabihin natin there are 4 in their family. So how do I process it? Most likely I will be thinking of looking for at least a 2 to 3 bedroom for them. Ganun yun siya. Para hindi naman nila ma-outgrown agad yung property na ipopurchase nila. Let's just say, especially if the kids are still in elementary, doon mo siya parang ipapasok. Okay? With regards with the feature of the property. And again, ito din. It can also be, if you, as brokers, we also ask questions, di ba? Sometimes when we ask questions, we will find their motivation. Kasi like in our experience, we have clients, the reason that they just want to purchase a property in a subdivision, dito true story to, we have a client, the reason that they want to buy a property in a subdivision is just because they don't want their kids to grow on the same community that they were growing. Kasi yung community na kung saan sila nag-grow daw, medyo yung siga-siga, mga ganon na mga senaryo. Oo. So, yung mindset niya is gusto lang niya na I want my kids to be secure. I want my kids to live in a subdivision na alam ko na the community is also parang educated, quote and quote, mga ganyan. Diba? So, that can be a property feature, part of where the subdivision, the type of subdivision. Diba? If you ask me if the number of bedrooms, the number of comfort rooms, I will know kung ilan sila talaga sa family nila. Let's just say a family of 4, so go for a 2 to 3 bedrooms. Usually ganyan yung the way I approach it. Okay?
And let's say for example, ngayon, we're tayo, 'di ba, in the firm, we're serving a client now looking for expansion ng poultry niya. So, ano ba yung kailangan na feature niyan? Dapat unang-una malayo sa residents, no? Para hindi maireklamo because siyempre may pa rin yung may waste na yung poultry. Poultry industry is an essential part ng natin economy. It's part of the essential industries that serves a portion ng food na kailangan ng mga tao, and we should be able to serve it and look for property suitable for the operation of yun. Una, kailangan may access sa road para sa delivery ng kanyang mga produce and access sa tubig. Oo,
Yes.
tapos yung lay ng land, yung terrain, so ang distance from the dressing plant or paano ba siya kung foul lang ba or meron ba siyang magtatayo ba siya ng dressing plant, so kailangan ng kuryente, lahat. Kailangan yung feature for the purpose, mai-match mo. That's why, kaya nga, inuna talaga natin yung purpose kanina so that we will know where to bring what properties to present. And again, it narrows down the selection, narrows down based on the feature that addresses the purpose of the buyer. So, yeah.
Yes. Ganyan talaga. More on the features is just parang ano talaga. Uh, ima-match mo talaga. So again, it will go back again with the purpose. Diba? So
Kasi for
ma-identify mo.
example, we have also assisted buyers from companies from Manila buying properties dito sa Davao for expansion. And yeah, we've worked with them. I believe we have given them good locations based on the purpose ng expansion nila dito. Yeah, if you're from Manila and you happen to drop by dito sa conversation or dito sa show, we've been able to represent several companies in Manila to get the right properties for their expansion here in Davao and the adjacent cities. So, yun, like example, there's one car company, nakuna natin ng magandang showroom for the cars with
Oo.
good frontage,
Oo.
high traffic, and
Visibility.
ang ganda.
Oh,
So,
may isa nga, we also have one client that very specific din sila with the type of ano, like the way we handle them is they want us to see the number of household within that area. Di ba? May ganun din, di ba? Oo.
hindi lang number. How much ang average value ng
Mm.
the
Uh,
socio-economic
Economic
demographics ng area. So
area.
that's again sa atin, sa propertiers, agents, stakeholders in the industry, agents and brokers, this is part of our role na more than bigay lang tayo ng bigay ng listing, we should be able to know ano yung purposes and requirements ng client. So pag sinabi ng client, you want a socio-economic or this is the demographic
Mm.
profile na gusto namin. So, dito dapat ang area, nandito siya na area na ang bahay, average cost ng bahay, average value ng bahay is ganito.
Mm. Tapos
Or
specific
gusto
din
ko,
na dapat ano,
uh,
yung
kahit
specific
hindi
na dapat.
dense,
Oo.
kahit hindi ganun ka-dense as Agdao or 23C, pero mataas ang value ng property. Or gusto rin niya, kahit hindi ganun kamahal ang mga bahay sa palibot, basta dense or
Dense,
mataas
oo.
density. So,
Part
yun,
of the
kailangan
feature,
alam natin.
feature din. And also, like for example, those are into the business, the expansion nila. And yun, very important din sila. We have a specific client that they're after this kind of visibility. Yung may ibang clients, we have clients that they want, when they enter in the subdivision, it's the first property that they will see because they're in a service business. Diba? So,
In
if
a
you
way
know,
kasi yung location property feature medyo closely tied up eh. So
uh,
I think based on our discussion ngayon sa number 3 pa lang, we've
uh,
been touching a portion of location already.
location.
So but siyempre bringing back the discussion dun sa property feature, if it's a business acquisition, um ano siya eh, you have to see the configuration of the
Mm,
property which is seen sa lap plan. Dapat alam mo din paano
uh,
mag-plot ng
square ba siya?
description. In a way, yes. Para para alam mo if the frontage kaya bang i-absorb kung tracking 'yan, warehouse 'yan, kaya bang i-absorb yung mahahabang trailers
Mm,
or ano ba, maganda ba yung frontage, kailangan ba talaga ng magandang frontage
oo.
or kailangan ba niya ng showroom sa harap? Yun yung mga
Yes.
kailangang malaman natin or mas maigi ba dito na property is pahaba kasi mas maganda sa apartel na nakatago yung units, no? Na nakatago doon pahaba yung mga or
Haba.
yung clients na gustong magtayo ng hotel. So,
Hotel.
yun.
Yes. Yan
Medyo
yun, para din yung sa
frustrating.
ganun. Oo, kasi dun na din kasi magkakaproblema kasi yan sila later on in the construction. Kasi
Mhm.
kung irregular yung lot mo, okay, pag irregular yung lot, tendency like yung magtatayo na yan sila ng structural nila with yung mga poste. There will be some hindi parang hindi pantay lahat. Ang ideal talaga is uh, on level ang lahat ng same distances. Kasi kapag maging irregular tendency, if you have to put an L shape or medyo slant na yung ibang side ng property, so magdi-differ naman din yung in terms of the structure. So that's a little complicated kasi construction side na yan siya. Even pala ito din, yung elevation. That's also part of the feature of the property because I have one
Correct.
client, very
Mm.
critical yung elevation
Correct.
sa kanya. So, part of that, nag-compute pa kami ilang ilang track ang itatambak just to put this kind of elevation. May ganun.
Oo, tama. May bago nga akong yung recent deal na we were able to close.
Oo.
Yan. Ilang trucks yung so more than 500 loads ata yun. So
Oo.
kailangan
So, isa
kailangan
din.
yan. Hmm.
Oo. Good thing that we have experienced that because I was also shocked when I had that. I actually had just have one client for that na experience. Pati pala ganun.
Kasi
Paano ba?
kasali sa acquisition cost yan eh. Development
Yes.
cost yan. Pero isasali nila yan, okay, if I buy this property at this price, plus yung
Oo.
development cost ko, which is yung tambak, yung compacting. Kasi normally, I'm not an engineering expert, or I don't have any degree or subject dyan. Pero based on experience ng mga na-acquire ng past previous clients natin, at certain number of yung backfill niyan, kino-compact yan eh. Then backfill it, compact mo naman.
So, yung mga plus na din yan. So, it also leads
Ay,
to our
kasali yan, kasali.
Oo. So, yun siya, part of the feature, the shape of the property, feature,
Ah.
it's also a feature, ang zoning niya, kung ano bang
Mhm.
allowed ng mga structures dyan, okay? That's part of the feature. So, yun siya kapag mga acquisition ng mga business, expansion. But on the side of the end user, okay, usually, minimatch mo na lang talaga yun kung the number of people in their house. That's the easiest part.
People in their house, ilan yung kotse, ano ba yung
Ganyan.
nag-homeschool ba? Kung
Oo.
nag-homeschool, they need a good place to do the activities ng mga bata,
Oo.
study, put a good sized TV screen para sa viewing, or gusto nilang isa-isa, or online studies ba? Ano bang style nila? Kailangan bang mayroong ilan ba yung anak na nag-aaral na separate stations kasi iba-ibang grade levels, or ano ba, may elderly ba sa bahay na kailangan may room sa baba na accessible na wheelchair yung room and yung CR tsaka yung garage. So
Yung
yan, kailangan lahat yan
yes,
nade-discuss.
even yung if you know that a hobby of this person is ganito, let's just say, yung hobby ni sir is uh, nagmumotor, yung ganun. So maybe you have to look for something that has more parang space for the garage or kung saan siya pwede
Oo.
yung mga ganyan-ganyan niya. Or maybe the
Tsaka
wife or
pag
the husband.
for example, nagmomotor, o di hanap ka din ng, aside from the garage, hanap ka ng location na easier for him to navigate to. For example, yung mga paborito na nagmumotor sa Buda, mga
Oo.
magandang route dyan. Okay, dito, midway to the downtown and Buda. Ganyan. Or kung
Oo.
nag-golf yung tao, mas malapit sa
Sa
golf courses. Yun.
Of course, ganun. Or like even the type of kitchen, di ba? Part of the future. Maybe they really into cooking, di ba? Maybe they're after of a U-shaped type of a kitchen. So mga ganong features din with the property. You have also to think about it. Tingnan mo kung, parang si madam is really into cooking. Wala siyang pake kung maliit yung bedroom niya. Basta yung kitchen niya malaki. Pwede ganon, di ba? So,
And there are also clients na na very very particular for the materials used.
yes.
So, say for example, ganito ang wall, ganito ang Gusto niya ng ang maganda lang kasi sa atin, we work with an interior designer. So it's easier for us to seek consultations, and not just interior designer, we also work with several, like for example yung matters about backfilling engineers. So yun din yung isa sa importante, if sa mga buyers that who are listening right now, tune in right now, you have to you have to make sure that the broker or the firm you're working with can give you as many consultants as they can. Kasi siyempre, kami in the brokerage firm, brokers, agents, although we have experiences there, we do not claim to be experts in those areas. So it's we
Lalo sa
work with
engineering.
yeah, we work with consultants, no? We work with consultants, friends in the industry who can help us, give us opinions and sensible computations. And make sure na hindi kayo matataga. I mean, to put it bluntly, yung hindi kayo matataga. So, yeah, kahit sa legal matters, we work with the partner there, we work with consultants. So,
Or even yung turnover inspection. And then sometimes
punch listing.
medyo parang hindi na yan hindi na yan masyadong pinag-iisipan ng mga new buyers, di ba? Especially if you're buying a resale property. Sometimes it's very good also. You might spend a little more, but sulit yan siya. Sulit yan siya. No? Usually we can ask for an engineer for that. Okay? Okay, great. So, yan siya with the property feature. I guess we have tackled everything with the property feature.
Yeah.
No?
Next.
So, next part is, okay, mga 5 na. And I have to end later.
We have to end. Charges.
Charges. You have to think
Sleazy,
this.
sneaky.
Mga So, ito, you really have to ask your brokers as well, your agents, kung ano yung mga charges. Don't just take everything na pinapakita na the computation, the sheet, and everything there is parang okay na. So you have to think, kahit yung like nilalagyan nila ng miscellaneous fee, you have to ask, what's in the miscellaneous fee? Ano ba yan siya? Kasali ba yan moving fee? When I move in, turnover fees, mga ganon, including na ba yan yung electric, installation, water installation, those kind of fees. And also with taxes. Okay? With taxes. Just buying a property doesn't mean na if you purchase, sign na kayo ng deed of sale, the thing is already good. You have to remember that you have also to pay taxes. You have to understand who will be the one paying for the capital gain tax. Who will be the one paying for the documentary stamp tax and for the transfer fees. So those are things na mga charges. So you have to be very keen. You need to ask really your brokers. This is also one of the things that is also very important. If you're a prospect, you're into the market right now looking for properties to buy. It's also very good to ask the help of brokers and agents. Because sometimes there are properties that let's just say it's being featured, being sold, okay, promoted. And then may mga properties kasi na besides from the documentary stamp tax and the ST, documentary capital gain tax, there are also other transfers pa na kailangan gawin. Might be that the first owner is parang deceased na, and then the one selling is already the heirs, di ba? There's another thing na nangyayari that you have to execute extrajudicial sale. That's part of the expenses pa rin. So sometimes kasi most common practice dito sa Philippines is if clients are selling their properties, they will ask the buyer to pay all the expenses. And parang sabi nila, I want the net selling price. Diba? So, may mga ganyang But commonly, yung mga charges, yung mga hidden charges, you notice this one mostly sa mga pre-selling and project selling, diba?
Project selling, developer projects. Mayroong mga resale. For example, if a property is a resale na belongs to a subdivision with active homeowners. Yun, sometimes you have to take a look at the homeowners association na 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 hindi nabayaran. So those can form part of the acquisition cost and can surprise some. Oh, bakit maabot na ng 40,000, 30,000, 50,000, 60,000 yung babayaran ko? Kasi matagal na palang hindi binabayaran, ina-update ng seller. Which is hindi na-discuss or hindi na-tanong. I'm not saying na intentionally tinago, pero halimbawa baka nakalimutan kasi siyempre nga the seller is in a way medyo detached na doon emotionally sa property, hindi na rin naiisip nakalimutan na rin pa na bayaran, i-update, or with the intention of selling it, gusto na lang idagdag or ano. So basta for whatever reason, if it is in a subdivision, you have to ask the question. Then about the homeowners association dues para
Yes.
kasi meron talaga yan. Ako nga yung bago kong na-acquire, medyo na-shock din ako.
Kasi,
Good lesson. It
every
happens to the best of us, but it's a good reminder.
Yes, and also different homeowners as organization or homeowners association, different rates of fees then. Okay, magdidepende talaga yan. So actually, the good thing about that, if you're part of a homeowners, you have a vote. You have also a say for kung I think it's too excessive, mga ganyan, or sometimes also part of the mention sa mga charges yung rules ng mga homeowners, di ba?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yung mga
And if you're working with a company na ina-acquire nila yun, let's say for example, you acquired an agricultural property na papa-convert to commercial use or light industrial, you have to be able to do some research din, paano ang proseso, anong charges involved, what are the regulatory fees, or the fees dun sa LGU and regulating agency. So yan yung mga kailangan mo rin tingnan. You have to be prepared as well to do those things. Okay,
yes.
so I think charges not so complicated, it's pretty straightforward. Ang ano lang dito, critical lang dito is for the agent you're working with or the broker you're working with to be able to really thoroughly thresh out everything and discuss it with you.
Okay. Sige.
Last,
So next. Okay. Ito na.
location. Yun yung paborito
Ito,
nila.
Pinahuli na. Pinahuli natin.
Hinuli natin. Kasi normally, pupunta talaga dyan eh. Pupunta talaga dyan.
But you cannot go first to the location without having a purpose and a budget. Because
Purpose
hindi
mo
talaga
pa.
maging realistic. You'll go back and forth with your agent, with your broker. Pag hindi talaga clear with that. Kasi, in terms of location naman kasi, magmamatch yung budget. Okay. Like yung example mo kanina, di ba? 3 million property, tapos downtown area. Medyo mahirap talaga. Siguro yung area mo is, 10 square meter. Okay. So,
Walang constraint sa budget by all means, sige. Pero pag we're working on several factors, may constraints tayo. We need to be very, very smart about this. Say, for example, condo. Okay, for example, gusto ko I posted, when you post Abrisa 2 bedroom. Oh, I like it. Gusto, pwede ba? Ano bang purpose? So for my family, okay, swap, pwede 2 bedroom. Pero anong purpose? How old are your kids? Are they ganito? And then what's the budget? So if ang budget mo is kung kaya ang Abrisa, well and good, go. Pero pag hindi, we'll need to look at the similar profile which is meron at that will match your budget. So, ganun lang naman talaga yan. First purpose muna ng options, and we slowly eliminate it based on until
feature.
kasi it's one catchment. Ngayon, Metro Davao is it's considered one location eh. You will still get the same amount of traffic going to some institutions, to malls. The malls are evenly spread na ngayon. It's travel here can be major hospitals also are within reach sa mga suburban natin.
So, yan din. And there's naman din kasi with location, isa din I've noticed, one of the, I think it was Bo Sanchez na narinig ko, it's not really how far you are from the area, but how fast the time
You get
that
there.
you get there. So, yan siya. So, it will also affect also with the property feature kasi let's just say sabihin natin, it can also be a property feature by the way, yung location. Kasi let's just say if your work area is somewhere in the north side of Davao already, in Buhangin, so you can just, your location should just be specifically there in terms of your selection.
Correct.
Diba? Ganun siya. So, it's not, we don't put location as the number one priority. Again, we don't put this one. The common notion talaga natin is location, location, location. But being in the practice for some time already, it's one of the least that you have to consider because you have to also adjust that's really the time as agents we have to really open the minds of our clients and understand that no, the dream that you have or no not the dream the location that you want it's not doable right now okay
Yeah.
uh, but if you still want to move forward because you have a purpose that you are building your family okay let's continue building your family but in a different location later on if our budget is already increase or we are already mas malaki na yung cash flow natin, that's the time
Mhm.
we might go with our an exit option, which is also by the way our last topic, last point, the exit option. So before we can move to that really dream property or just dream location, di ba? That's for the end user. And yun kanina, party, we have also discussed ni Art with in terms of location for those who are into acquisition for business expansion. So doon na siya, nag-differ na din yun siya. Diba? It's
Mhm.
either the density, diba? The
No,
number
kasi
of
siyempre
households,
if
economic.
it's ang purpose is leasing, if it's
Mhm.
leasing ano you have to deal with the fact na if you get the nearer it is to the CBD or the central business district, the more expensive it is or
Oo.
the higher the prices are. But there's also one school of thought na pwede mo siyang dalhin doon sa up and coming developing area na kung saan kaya yung budget, pasok doon sa budget mo. But there's a lot of economic activity and the projection is based on sa development plan ng city is papunta roon lahat or based on sa mga activities na nakita mo na ginagawa doon. So may mga construction
There's talk about
ongoing, a coastal road
yes.
is being constructed leading na hagip yung area na yun. So yeah, those can be an option. If hindi kaya yung first priority based on the budget, based so purpose, swak, budget hindi, look for another location
Sure.
with the same thing.
Actually, one good example of that is that's what happened with BGC, di ba?
Mm.
Before, which is after Makati and Makati, di ba? And now,
Yeah.
look at those who have already purchased BGC way back before. Right now, before the COVID, what I've learned is that per square meter in BGC is 1 million.
Mhm. Ngayon,
1 million per square meter. Oh, so imagine kapag nakatayo ka doon, umaapak ka sa 1 milyon. Di ba? So, gano'n. So, but, di ba? Look at BGC now compared to what they are before, di ba? So, it can be that one, that, the idea that Arthur just shared. You can have that also in terms of selecting a location. So, in terms naman sa mga infrastructures and mga projects and the developments of the city, you can also Google it actually. You can even go to the site of the city government or you can also ask your brokers as well because they also know these things, yung mga up and coming. And those who are projects that are already approved, di ba?
yep.
Okay, so that's for the
Next. The last, I
location.
think that's the last, right? Yung
The last
next.
one, seldom, actually we added one kasi supposed to be, we just have to talk about five, but we've added
Mhm.
charges because it just came out. So, but the last one talaga is this one, the exit options. Options. So, kasi, di ba, if you handle clients, sometimes
Pero,
you have to also,
oh, go ahead.
di
Go
lang
ahead.
talaga kasi with the time they purchase it. Kasi you have also to think, what will be the exit options uh, later on after certain number of years or upon turnover. Kung let's just say may other plans nga, di ba?
Oo. And may mga unforeseen. Actually, ito yung mga harder lessons that you learn while doing the practice. No? Ano ba yung way out ng
We,
property? Ano yung way out mo? When you buy the property, ano ba yung way out mo dito? Ilan ba ang way out mo and how easy it is to exit?
mm-hmm.
And if you're a broker or an agent working with a client, if my buyer or if the property would be property owner decides to sell, gaano ba kabilis or ano bang options
Yes.
or if they encounter unforeseen circumstances or changes in their business and their cash flow, will this property help them? Ano ba yung exit options? Ano ba yung way out? So, this is ano siya, medyo yeah, on this is the precaution side of things. Paano ba yung pambalanse? Madaling mag-acquire, madaling you have the money, madaling mag-acquire, but ano ba yung exit? Inherently kasi siyempre, hindi naman properties hindi ganoon kataas yung liquidity if you compare it to cash. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, converting it to cash is is one of the topics na dapat dapat din mapag-usapan. And this is in fact ito kahit huli to, critical pa rin to kahit huli siyang pinag-usapan.
Oo. So, even with the process pang start pa lang nga if yung client, though it will sound negative at pakinggan. It will sound negative kasi nagbebenta ka and you're trying to close the deal. Di ba? But just in case, as clients, as prospect buyers now, it's also good that you also ask this kind of question. Seldom we don't share this. Agents don't share this, mga exit options with the client. But if part of doing your research or part of understanding the entire thing, the entire process of purchasing a property, because diba, our topic is things to consider, this is also one of the things as buyers you have to consider. Okay, because you might we're actually especially this time the impact of COVID right now is being more noticeable in the industry because we have a lot of clients right now na nawalan din ng work, and now we're trying to help them have their properties be liquidated, or some of them are supposed to be their properties should be turned over but they can no longer continue to pay, diba? So may mga ganun, so part of the exit option. So how do we do that? We can have it resale, or we can have it assume, or maybe there's some percentage from the developer can give back a refund. So may mga ganun siya ng mga option. There's a lot of things to discuss in these things, but it's also really good to ask your brokers for this. So like for example, even if you purchase a residential property, one of your exit option can also be have it lease, even if it's a dwelling, di ba?
Yeah.
First one is a dwelling, or maybe yung like my example kanina, yung location, di ba? Na for your current cash flow right now, this is the property that we can buy. So later on, after 5 years, if you have already have a better cash flow, diba, we can sell your property, and the value that we purchase for this property, we can transfer it to your next desired location. That can be one of your exit options. So way out mo ba? Okay.
Ang pwede pa nga nito it can go as far as medyo hindi masyado pleasant na topic but very real topic. Like example, binabayaran mo yung property, you are the one providing the cash flow for it. Yung question na what if something happens to you? The one paying. So, kung saan nakatira yung mag-ina mo or yung family mo. Yan. So, the good thing with property is that we can accommodate several we work with to provide you with the way out, in so to speak, yung insurance that will be able to absorb the obligations for the property. In a way, it's an estate planning. It's a financial planning. So that assists your property acquisition. So you just have to be open to the topic na ganito. So part talaga yan. Kasi anin mo nga naman, nakapag-down payment ka pero may nangyari sa'yo, di ba? We should put the safety nets na alam natin at the end of the day, secured yung family mo, whatever happens. And yeah, yung mga ganun. Estate planning.
Planning. So part of that,
part ng exit yan, part ng way out yan.
Yes. So I think we've covered this. Anim talaga pala. So let's just see if there's mga questions. I guess none. Anyway, if you can put in your questions, if you're watching this video later on a later day, so you just have to type in your question, and then we will get in touch with you. We will answer you, maybe DM you for your question. So Attorney Jeffrey Coronel, location daw.
Of course.
Attorney, invite ka namin dito. You'll be our
Sige.
guest.
Sige, just
So,
for yan eh. So, yan.
mm. So a little recap lang, a little recap with what we have discussed for the things that you need to consider. Number one is the purpose of the property.
Purpose. Yes.
Yes, and so very critical the purpose, and then next is your budget. You have to be very open with your brokers. This is the money that you have. This is how much your cash flow right now. Yan siya. And then with the property feature. Okay. Yan siya. And then fourth is the charges. We have just added this one this time. Not supposed to be in that part, but I think it's important. And then the fifth one is the location, and lastly about your exit option. So that's it for the natin yung topic natin this afternoon, the things to consider in buying a property. So yan siya.
So,
And, ano ba?
see you sa next
Sa next episode natin. But before that, 'di ba, as pa-promo as our way of inviting you to participate with us. So, we will be giving you a question of the day. Okay?
Okay.
So, we will again announce the winner for the question of the day. Again, papapanalunan mo? So, a winner of 100 peso load to be announced next episode. So, the question for the day. Okay, guys, this is our question for the day. So, put in your answers in the comment section. So, we will be reading your answers kapag you're one of the one who is being selected as the winner next episode. So, the question for
Wait.
the day.
What if aside from the 100 peso loan, pwede rin siyang 100 peso credit to GCash, right? Pwede rin ganun, di ba?
Yeah, we can do that. Pwede.
Kasi baka postpaid tapos, di ba?
Oo nga, no? Tama. Good.
Di ba?
So, sige.
Baka ako manalo, hindi ko magamit. Postpaid ako eh.
Cash na natin. Transfer it to GCash. So, what's the question of the day?
Sorry.
Okay,
Last
go.
question. Para ako sasali, no? So, pwede siya, if I watch it on a recorded video, and then I answer tomorrow or Tuesday, valid yung entry, di ba?
Yes, valid pa rin yung entry.
Okay, good. Sige.
We will be deciding for your the answers or yung winner.
Cut off is
12 noon of next Saturday.
Alright.
12 noon next Saturday.
Good.
Fair enough. Namin ipipiliin. So it will be announced on our next episode 4 p.m. next Saturday again. Okay? So guys, for those who are watching us, please comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're simultaneously live sa Propertier Facebook page and Propertier YouTube channel. So the question of the day, guys, okay, this is our question. Besides from the things that we have discussed, what do you think? Okay, think yan. Is the most important thing to consider before buying a property. Okay, actually, there's a lot naman talaga. So, what you can add more. Okay? So, that's our question for the day. Besides from the things that we have discussed, what do you think is the most important thing to consider before buying a property? So, that's the question for the day. See you next Saturday sa sa winner, and also see you next Saturday for our next episode of Prop Talk. Anything else before we end?
So it's still Saturday 4 in the afternoon, no?
4 in the afternoon.
If you're in overseas, you happen to watch this. So 4 in the afternoon, Philippine time. Yeah. Singapore.
Hindi Filipino time. Philippine time.
Philippine time.
Okay. So guys, thank you so much for watching for our episode this afternoon. This has been your host, Jasmine Ross and Arthur Gonzalez. Yes.
Bye-bye.
Kaway. And leaving you with this quote from Franklin Roosevelt. Sabi ni Roosevelt, sabi niya, real estate cannot be lost or stolen, nor can it be carried away. Purchased with common sense, diba? Yung common sense which we've already been talking this time. Paid for in full and managed with reasonable care. It is about the safest investment in the world. So that's our quote for the day. To you guys, thank you for watching. See you again on our next episode of Prop Talk. God bless you guys.
God bless. Bye.
Bye.